GOAT? What does that even freaking mean? The future GOAT. You're either the GOAT or you're not the GOAT. Tom Brady is going to go play in his 10th Super Bowl, and to cast it away because you have a young kid who's playing lights out, it's just disrespectful. That has nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes, but you ain't the GOAT, bro. I can't stand him. You can say he's a great quarterback, best in the game right now. Don't talk about the GOAT nonsense until we get there.
That was Jeff yesterday. Dominique, what do you think?
I mean, he was fired up. Everybody knows how much I love Jeff Saturday, but he's dead wrong right there. Like, we got to fill these hours with something. What else are we going to talk about? I'm happy to compare Patrick Mahomes to any of his peers. You name me. You name him. Show me his opponent. He's not out there. We have to compare him to ghosts because what he is doing right now is unbelievable. We've never seen it before. I'm not going to compare him to Deshaun Watson, as great as he is. Not going to compare him to Lamar Jackson. He's not in the same conversation as Josh Allen. The only person that I can think of that he's in the conversation with is Tom Brady, and he's much better than Tom Brady was at this point in his career. And when Tom Brady was 3 years in as a starter, there's no conversation. So I understand why you might be annoyed, and future GOAT is kind of a silly moniker. But what else we going to call him? God? Because that's how he's playing when he goes out there on the field.
That's very well said. And look, normally I get it when people say, hey, pump the brakes, you're overstating it. But Ryan Clark, in the case of Patrick Mahomes, I don't think we are. I think it is reasonable to look at him and say, this guy looks like he has a chance to be the greatest of all time. I don't think it's actually overstating the case in this guy.
Listen, 100%. And it's also not just because of our eyes, right? Usually at this stage of their career, we're using our eyes and being like, this dude could be one of the all-time greats. And that is true. When you watch him, he's one of the best we've ever seen. You put him up there with Aaron Rodgers, and then it's Patrick Mahomes from the way that he plays the position. But then you look at the team. The dude has had no maturation process. There hasn't been a wait and see kind of thing with Patrick Mahomes. The first time we saw him replacing Alex Smith in the last game, he balled. The next year, he won the MVP, got to the AFC Championship. Next year, got to the Super Bowl, won the MVP. This year, got to the Super Bowl again. Like, all we've seen this dude do is succeed. And to be honest, Jeff's just mad because now we can just overpass Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning's no longer in this conversation.
Oh.
And those were the hands that he felt pressed against him his whole life. So I understand that. But when you look at Patrick Mahomes, you can honestly say, you know what? Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to win 6. He doesn't have to go to 10. He doesn't have to play for 2+ decades because we know when we look at him, he's better than Tom Brady actually ever was. Even when Tom Brady threw 50 to Randy Moss, we didn't go, gosh, this is the best we've ever seen one look. But it was up there. He's the GOAT because of consistency and the constant excellence. If Patrick Mahomes wins 4, wins 5, with the type of dominance he's had early, he is going to be the GOAT. And many of us are going to say that. So it's right to have this conversation now because it's truly the only conversation to have.
I also can't figure out what's going to happen that's going to keep him from winning more than 4 or 5. He hasn't even entered his prime yet. He, in theory, should continue to get better from here, both up, here and even reaching his physical prime. Go ahead, Graziano.
Yeah, look, I think the key here is look at the guys who won early, right? Like I'm talking about Brady, Russell Wilson, Roethlisberger. These were all on teams that, they weren't necessarily asking them to be the hero, to be the central figure, to carry them, right? And yes, I know that Kansas City has a strong roster, but to a far greater extent than was the case early in Brady's career, early in Russell Wilson's career, early in Roethlisberger's career, Mahomes is the guy. He's like, look, we're down 10 points in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. Patrick, what do you got? Like that's him. That's who he is. So he's on a path, right? He's further along at this stage in his career toward a conversation about can you be the greatest of all time than Tom Brady was. Long way to go to catch him in terms of accomplishments, obviously, but he's doing something at a young age that I think even Tom wasn't doing.
Nick,
it's not even Patrick what you got. It's Patrick we know what you got. He has not come up short in any of these moments. Every single big moment, he has not come up short. Every single time. We talk about Tom Brady's greatest game, probably that comeback win against the Falcons in the Super Bowl was incredible. Patrick Mahomes damn near did that 3 times in a row last year. Stop it, Jeffrey Robinette Saturday.
It's not his middle name. Not his middle
There's
name.
nowhere in the world
It
that
is
Black
now.
people always want to give somebody a middle
It's
name.
his name. It
not
is
his
And if
now.
it is, that really would be remarkably coincidental. But what I will say is maybe the most amazing thing about Brady is that they depended on him much more when he was 41 than they did when he was 23. And that's the greatest thing that's the greatest feather in his cap.
Let you know that I have more power than you're saying I do, or the way that you treat me. Because he's done that nice guy stuff, and they went and got his replacement, and then got him a running back when they could have used an old lineman or a receiver this over the weekend, or another cornerback. And so this coming draft, it'll be really interesting to see what they do, because I think that's what the message is for. He's a smart, calculated person. He didn't put that out there just for no reason. He knew this was the last big stage he had, and he wanted to send a message to the whole organization that I'm not just going to sit around here and let you push me around and let you draft other people and kind of hold me on some year-to-year basis like I'm a nobody. He's an MVP, one of the greatest we've ever seen, and he's going to let y'all know that I will walk if y'all mess around one more time.
I think that's right. And look, I mean, the reason we keep showing you that video of Jordan Love being drafted is that's the last time anyone has seen him. So, I mean, we don't have anything else that we can show you. So, Dan Graziano, I mean, I'm sure you're talking to people around the league. It's not just the media talking about this. What are people saying?
Yeah, look, we talked about this yesterday. The Packers have no incentive to move on from Aaron Rodgers this offseason. It would actually make their lives very difficult financially and against the shrinking salary cap. And if Aaron Rodgers wanted to make a stink and force his way out of there, then we're having a different conversation. But so far, that's not the case. What he's saying is basically what's going through his head since last April, which is, hey, I thought I'd be a Packer for life. Now I know I might not be. That's weird. It's got me a little unsettled. They go through this wonderful season where nothing goes wrong and it's not an issue, and then the season ends and all of a sudden he's confronting it again. I feel like a lot of the time that Aaron Rodgers talks publicly, the underlying premise that he's using is that he's smarter than everyone else. And I'm sure that's true in some cases, but I promise him it's not true in all cases. And I think if he's trying to send a message, it is, hey, guys, if I'm not here, it wasn't me, right? The organization made a choice. I want to be a Packer for life. And if it ends, it wasn't my idea.
But it's true. I mean, in that case, what he's saying is actually true. They've made the decision to move on from him. Now it's just a question of the timing. And what I have a tough time picturing, and we'll talk about this as we continue, is Aaron just sitting back and saying, whatever you guys decide on that will be fine with me. You want to keep me one more year? If I play great, if Jordan develops well, then you'll make the decision. I don't see that being the way he approaches this. So this feels to me like it is very much worth keeping an eye on, and we'll continue to talk about it.